All right, let's start the meeting. Let's call the meeting to order.
Okay, calling the meeting of June 18th, 2024 to order. This is the adjourned regular city council meeting, beginning with commission and committee interviews. So Mayor, would you like to provide an overview of how you'd like the interviews to run, the process? We
have a few changes that we're probably going to make. We're going to give everybody a chance to make a 1-minute opening introduction.
I don't,
your
mic. Your mic.
Okay. We're going to provide everybody with a minute to make an introduction. There are a couple of committees where I understand that we only have the same number of applicants for the number of positions that are filled, so we're going to try and get through those first, since and probably if you want, give you an opportunity to speak, but if not, we'll move them. But if you say something in your 1 minute and we don't like it, we may not agree with you. You never know. No, so we'll do that. Is there anything else that we? And we're all probably also, we have some matters with one of the committees that there may be the planning commission. There may be a recusal on that, and so who might that be? I'm not sure who that might be, but we'll figure it out. But I don't. We talked about doing that one first, but I don't know if we want to do that one first. If everyone's here for that, actually, can we do the two that we might get past quickly?
My only recommendation is that our city attorney here doesn't need to be here for all of them, but she needs to be here for that planning.
Okay.
One, so commission one, so it might be good to get that one out of the way first.
Except that we're going to have to do those interviews, and the other two, I think we'll be able to move out within 3, 4, 5 minutes. If that will work for you.
I serve at the council's pleasure. Thank you.
All right, then let's call up then. The first item is the Coastal Advisory Committee, where we have...
Mayor, before you get any further on the Coastal Advisory Committee, we do have one speaker on that particular item.
Okay.
So would you like to hear that now? We have a presentation.
Sure.
Okay, Amanda Quintanilla, one slide, yes.
Council members, hello, good afternoon, and I just have one slide only because I wanted to let everybody know that the Coastal Advisory Committee only met for 3 meetings. The special meeting in January was to discuss AB 1234 training. The special meeting in February, was to discuss AB 1661. So workplace harassment prevention training. So they only had 3 meetings to work on their plan. There was no meetings in 2023. So I was hoping that you could maybe extend the time further for maybe putting in more on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, to get the word out, because it seems like I think the public deserves qualified, very well versed on coastal issues. These are technical issues and technical concerns. And when I was reading through the applications, one of the things that were concerning were that this is not a platform for for OZTA issues or anything like that, because we have a partnership with the OZTA for years, and it's been established. We have cooperative agreements with OZTA, and it's not a platform for activism or anything like that. So I would hope that you could extend the time to get qualified, very technical people that with a lot of experience, like with Mr. Dologowski is fantastic. He has so much wealth of knowledge, and Matthew Schmidt is very knowledgeable in his field, and we really need qualified people like that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I just, we have so many people on already that have so much experience, and I just hope we have that consistency and in the quality of our representative or committee members. Thank you.
Thank you. So, we will have to think about how we improve our outreach. I think I've looked through all the resumes and the information, and anytime someone raises their hand and says, I want to help, you know, it takes all kinds of people and all kinds of experiences to be on a committee. So we have 4 members for 4 nominees for 4 seats. 2 terms to expire in 2025 and 3 in 2026. So
Just for the record, it's 1 term that expires 2025 and 3 for 2026.
Okay, all right. So I guess the way we could do that is, you know, we're going to nominate well, unless one of them would like to
I can call them up by name and see if they...
if any of them want to make a presentation. You're going to get on the committee. It's a question of which term you get.
Richard Ayer? Not here, okay. John Dolegowski? Matthew Schmidt?
Yeah. President?
Would you like to speak? No? Okay.
Incriminating. Good call.
Does not want to be the first speaker. And Deke Van Noort.
Yeah, I'm here, but I'll follow the advice of my colleague here.
All right, well,
maybe we could go in alphabetical order. Richard Ayer isn't here. Maybe he gets the 1-year term.
if that's your motion.
That's my motion. Richard Ayer would get the term that's up in 2025.
I'll second that.
All right. And so, and with that, you're moving to move all.
I'll make the motion that we move all 4, and a couple of these people have applied before and were really good candidates before, so I think moving these 4 is the great thing to do for the city.
The motion incorporates the other 3?
It does.
Yes. All right, and we have a second on that. All right, so let's take a vote on that.
Councilmember Duncan?
Aye.
Councilmember Leffler?
Aye.
Mayor Cabral?
Aye.
Mayor
Aye.
Pro Tem Edmeyer? Councilmember Noblock? Carries 5-0. Richard Ayer has a 1-year term to expire June 30th, 2025. Mr. Dolegowski, Mr. Schmidt, and Mr. Van Noort have terms to expire 2026.
Yeah. And thank you for being here. We're trying to get you some time back. We're probably going to be here late into the night, so we're just trying to get a little time, and we still have a lot of interviews to go through. So thank you for your presence, and welcome to the committee.
Thank you.
The next committee is public safety.
Either one.
Let's do public safety. We have 3 seats for and 3 nominees. So again, do any of you want to make a statement? I mean,
I'll call the applicants by name. Michael Greenwald?
Follow the mayor's very sage advice. Thank you.
Tom Hazelton?
I have a question for Tom. Do you know how to tie a sheep shank?
I may have.
Okay. He's a knot expert. I don't know if you knew that, but he's a subject matter expert on knots. It might come in handy.
yeah.
And Seth Neri.
You better not mention that again.
All right.
I'll move we appoint all 3 to the open seats on the Public Safety Commission.
I'll second.
I'll second. Okay. No discussion, so let's move those.
Councilmember Duncan?
Aye, and I think we can move by acclamation,
Okay.
right, city attorney on these?
Yeah, and let's move by acclamation, then we
Okay.
don't have to have the voice vote.
I'll-
All right, it's unanimous. Thank you all for being here. You just never know what's going to happen, whether. But thank those applicants for showing up today, and congratulations on your appointment to this committee. Next in order, you said Human Affairs has,
But Mayor, I do need to make an announcement on Human
Uh-huh.
Affairs. Dawn Vogelslang did decide this morning that she was not going to apply for this committee. So we do have 4 applicants, which I know you're aware of.
so we have 4 applicants for 4 seats, and they all expire June 30th,
2026.
2026. All right, does someone want to make a motion?
Should we-
The only thing I
Oh,
was,
Should we
I
say-
guess any of them here that want to make a statement, or?
Stuart Anderson is out of town. Michelle Brooks is participating via Zoom.
she's not.
She's
Oh,
on
did
Zoom.
she
Yes,
check in?
yes.
Okay, because she said she was having trouble with her Wi-Fi.
We can ask her if she would like to make a statement.
Well, let's go to the other 2.
Okay.
Hi, sorry.
There's only, Michelle, there's only 4 nominees going forward. You're one of them for 4 seats. So you don't need to make a statement if you don't want to.
Perfect, sounds good, thank you.
All right.
Rosemary Salas.
I'm here, I don't need to make a statement.
Okay.
Okay. And Dick Vale.
I think he's out of town also.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll move we appoint all 4 to the Human Affairs Committee.
Second?
Second.
I think we'll move them by acclamation then. No. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
I think all you have,
Is it an aye or a no?
I think all you have to do is without objection, right? And that'd be the time for somebody to object.
All right.
And then we can just do acclamation.
All right. Next, we move on to
Planning Commission.
Planning Commission. And this is where we need to
Mr. Mayor,
hear a statement from Mr. Law.
I have a common law interest in this matter. I just want to clarify, I'm really married. It's not a common law marriage. Just to set the record straight, Madam Attorney, City Attorney.
Councilmember Loeffler, I believe what you're trying to say is that you have a common law conflict of interest with respect to your legal wife.
Okay, very good. So none of this is going to affect my marriage. I mean, when this is over, I'm still married. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to excuse myself from the comments on this particular candidate, Ms. Prescott Loeffler, and recuse myself from the voting on this candidate. But then I would like to return for the other members of the Planning Commission to vote for them or on them. Does that seem fair?
So it does seem fair, yes. Did you bring your marriage certificate?
Yeah.
Councilmember Loeffler.
Okay, Councilmember Loeffler, Karen is actually last on the list of applicants, so if you'd like to sit through.
Okay. I will do that.
We will go then through the interview process and give everybody, starting with Cameron Cosgrove, a minute to make their presentation. We have 4 open seats and 6 applicants.
Hello. I don't really need the minute, but just out of respect, because this is a very important duty and commission. Lived in San Clemente for 11 years. Been on Planning Commission now 3 years. Current chair of the Planning Commission, vice chair last year. I've spent 2 years on the Design Review Subcommittee. I'm on that committee as well. And I enjoy what I'm doing, and I do really respect the role. It's very important. We really need to have a fair and correct process for the permitting in the city, and the Planning Commission plays a very important role in that. And I feel very comfortable in the role, and I'm happy to continue my service. That's it.
Thank you.
Happy to answer any questions if you
We
guys
might,
have any.
we'll do the questions right now, I think, if there's any questions. Yeah, you can't get away there.
Yeah.
I'll start since there's a question in my mind whether the Design Review Committee overlaps too much with the regular Planning commission, and that is that people come in and you go through a process through design review, and then you know, those same issues come, same people come before the planning, and so they get two bites at the apple, and it further delays the process where people are trying to get things done quickly because it's expensive to build in the city. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I do. I appreciate the question because I think that's a common belief that's held. I do have a different point of view. I think the design review subcommittee is extremely essential to good planning in the city because oftentimes when projects come to the design review, they're in draft form, or the staff has issues and aren't sure which direction to go, and they're looking for some input on the design. On the planning commission, we stay away from the design. When it comes to the planning commission, the design needs to be finalized. We're looking at, do you meet the criteria for a permit, which is looking at the general plan, looking at consistency with the zoning code. Those are two completely different areas of focus. And that's something that we've really tried to do as a group. Not design from the dais. Do not do that. You look strictly at the public record. You look at the public hearing. You look at the testimony. You make a decision based on the testimony in the room and our zoning and our general plan.
Okay.
Design review is much more, we're in a conference room. It's very collegial. We're actually a lot of back and forth. Hey, if you made this change, it would work a lot better. And oftentimes applicants are looking for the advice. And we do give them technical advice on their design, or we give them encouragement. Just keep going, this is the right thing. And many times, it's one and done. The only time they come a second time typically is if it needs more work or they want more help.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. In terms of two different aspects here of keeping our historical character and integrity of our town intact, and the other side of looking toward new development and progress, and they can sometimes be aligned, but oftentimes can be in conflict of each other. This we're on a continuum of say a 1 to 10 scale. Which do you favor more, the historical character of the town or the new development? And you can't say both. Where do you lie?
I don't know that I can answer one or the other. The way I look at it is, where is it? Where is it is super important. And the general plan has zones or overlays that designate when you are required to either use the Spanish colonial revival architecture or Spanish architecture. Many places in our town it's not required, in other places it is. And when it is, we need to adhere to that design. So really, it really depends on where it is. Now, what we get into the give and take, I think, is not necessarily do you favor it, not favor it. That's really not the question. I would just give you my take on it. It's more, how do we make it compatible when you have a competing interest adjacent? So typically, and you're going to hear one tonight, we have a historical home at Lot A, Lot B.
Excuse me, please do not talk about items on the agenda.
I'm not going to be talking about it specifically, I'm just saying as an example.
No, please do not use that example. It's a de novo hearing tonight before the city council.
Well, then I can't answer the question. But you understand, it's competing that way, and it does come down to technical execution of, are we adhering to the Secretary of Interior standards? And there are 10 of them. And we look very carefully at that and make sure that we're adhering to those standards.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there any other, I don't see anybody else. We don't have our other screens up today, do we?
Not for this portion of the meeting.
Okay, all right.
Good.
No other questions? All right, next, Brett Freeman.
Yes.
You have a minute to make your opening statement, introduction.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. I really appreciate the opportunity. My name is Brett Freeman. I've been here for 12 years in San Clemente. Just a little bit about myself. As a dedicated professional and rich background in real estate, redevelopment, aviation administration, I'm eager to contribute my expertise to the San Clemente City Planning Commission. My expertise has honed my skills in strategic planning, project management, and community engagement, all of which are crucial throughout city planning and development. I'm passionate about creating spaces that not only reflect the community's heritage, but also embrace modern amenities, ensuring a harmonious blend of tradition and innovation. If you have any questions,
Thank you.
you have to answer those now.
Yeah, I guess the same question I asked, I mean, you may not be as familiar with it, but the two subcommittees, I mean, the subcommittee we have, any thoughts on that? Or just something you're not familiar with, that's fine too. I know you're not on the,
Right, I'm not directly involved,
Okay.
obviously, with that, but, you know, anytime that you can have subcommittees feed into the commission, I think it's always a good process. I'd have to look at it further to give you an educated answer.
any questions from my colleagues? No. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I will not, I'll try and speak for everybody, is that one of the hardest parts about our job is that we get so many qualified people, and all of you deserve to be on these commissions, but we only have a limited number of slots, and you understand that. So,
Mr. Mayor, could I add to that? I think we're in the process now of looking at term limits for our committees and commissions to ensure some turnover. That's when you get good people, they seem to like to stay, and we need to find a way to have some turnover, and we're actually looking at that process now, and I think we're going to put that in place. So anybody that doesn't get on a committee or commission, stick around, please become engaged. There's also opportunities for you to become ad hoc members of many of these committees and commissions, where you can still go to the meetings and help out on the projects, and I would really hope that a lot of you would do that. So anyway, we're hoping for a better system in the future. Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thanks for your consideration.
Next, Gary McLaughlin. McCacken. How do you prefer?
McCacken.
McCacken, okay.
I am a retired anesthesiologist. I've served 3 years on the Planning Commission currently. Before that, I served for 4 years on the Coastal Advisory Committee. Before arriving in San Clemente and being retired, I served 8 years on the Downey City Council, 2 years as mayor. I served 4 years on the Planning Commission there in that city, 4 years on the Parks and Recreation Commission. So I do have the experience and do understand city government mostly, not necessarily from an architectural, point of view, but from a more community-based oriented view. And I would, at the council's permission, like to serve 2 more years.
Well, thank you. What's working and what's not working currently with the commission? Is there room for improvement?
Well, there's always room for improvement. I think this particular planning commission has pretty good chemistry. We work well together. It's very collegial. I can't think of too many things for the planning commission per se that needs to have improvement. There's always that perception, from an applicant that there's too many hooks and hoops to jump through. But I think here it's pretty fairly good. I mean, the Planning Commission is trying to get a better understanding of the permitting process and how long it takes, and a system to, fairly say, well, it's taken you so long for what reasons, tracking them backwards. Sometimes it takes a little bit to penetrate the administrative system to get into that, going from being a previous city council member. But I think they are trying to get software that will actually track that system and finding out what's the reason that it took you 2 years and this it took 1 year. And in some ways, that's how the design review process gets out of the way, at least architecturally. I'm not on that subcommittee, but they deal with a lot of good architectural solutions to problems that either get rid of having to have a certain entitlement or to make it happen quicker at the planning commission level.
I think one of the concerns we always hear is that it's a slow process from developers, and it's not a criticism. It's just, you know, there's sometimes it's the developer's problem, but it is something that needs to be worked on. If you do get reappointed, you know, do what you can to make sure that process is expedited. I think that's something everybody is hoping for.
Right, I think one thing is, you know, that you guys have control of is the number of staff. You know, trying to have in-house staff that can take care of the problem rather than, I mean, I can talk for a long time about what I think, but I think that's one area that could.
Well, actually, I appreciate that. You know, you should bring that to our attention. We'd appreciate that insight. So thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'd like to follow up on that last comment and ask you, what are your thoughts on the contract staff that we hire to do planning for us? Sound like you're a little critical of that concept, or?
Well, it's mostly good. I mean, we have found a couple times when their public noticing wasn't actually, you know, correct. I think that happened twice with I don't know if it was that particular person's, you know, inadequacy or what, but also having somebody who works for town, you kind of know the flavor. A lot of times, you know, going out and getting some other kind of outside help is usually for some specific reason, not for the reason being other than lack of, you know, the number of employees. Because you do need a critical step, you know, number of staff members to get things through the pipeline.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other follow-up questions? All right. Thank you very much. Scott McCann. Is Scott on the phone or present or?
Remember, he came and spoke, I think, at a city council meeting because he wasn't.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't going to be here. That's right. Okay, we did hear from him. Paul Parsons. Welcome.
It's nice to see you all again. I was at the leadership that just concluded in May, and it's nice to see you. I arrived here in San Clemente 3 years ago. My wife and I purchased a historic property at Ole Hansen, a small one in downtown, and it was very dilapidated, and we renovated it, and in that process we managed to meet a number of city staff, and the process of getting permitted and coming through planning commission and all of that led me to a lot of interaction with the city and with the various agencies that are involved, including the design review board and the planning commission. And I don't really have a lot of criticisms for that with that interaction. I really enjoyed the staff and how they worked with us. And I feel like my experience of 30 years in construction, my experience in architecture and design would be of value to the city. I have a lot to offer in terms of my entrepreneurial experience. I believe that the city is going to get and will continue to get a lot of investment in our properties, and my job, and I think our job as a planning commission, is to marshal those resources in a way that's responsible and that pays attention to the historic resources that are here in town, but also allows that development to continue.
Thank you, appreciate it. You've heard a couple of questions we've asked already. Anything you want to add in response to those questions? Or?
You mean the earlier questions?
Yeah, the earlier questions, yeah.
Well, I think that one of the things, because I'm a historic resident, I have a historic property, and I'm also involved with the San Clemente Historical Society. I think generally some of you might consider that I am a little bit biased that way, and I'd like you to know that I want to be balanced. That my view is that the resources that we have are part of the city fabric, and it's who we are as a city, the Spanish Village by the Sea, but I'm not a tyrant when it comes to enforcing what we do with those assets. I think it's important to have investment dollars that are placed in those areas so that we don't have issues like the neglected properties that we see around town that are historic.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I should just mention, we have these big binders with all your resumes and your backgrounds that you fill out. I really appreciate all the work that each of you have done individually to give us these files and information and answer the questionnaires that we had the opportunity to spend our precious weekend going through. But thank you very much. Next, okay, I guess this is the time that you're gonna recuse yourself.
So I'll just note for the record that Councilmember Leffler has recused himself and left the dais. And we have Karen Prescott Leffler on video.
Hello. You have a minute.
Well, thank you, and good afternoon, Honorable Mayor and City Council, minus Mr. Leffler. And thank you for the opportunity for the virtual call. I appreciate staff arranging this for those of us who have a hard time getting in at this hour. So my background, let me first express that I have the utmost respect for the current Planning Commission. We work very well together. I think with all the different backgrounds, we have learned that we listen to both sides and we collectively try to come to a yes rather than a no. The design committee is very valuable and I appreciate their insights, and they take a lot of the hard work out of what we would have to do for that evening. As far as the architecture, it's when it comes from design committee, I trust what they have gone through. It's this planning commission that took us through COVID. We had to put the parklets together.
I guess your minute is up.
Wow.
Yes.
That was quick.
Yeah, it is.
I'm all yours.
So we will, I don't know if you were able to listen to some of the questions that we asked a little bit earlier about
Not exactly.
design review and the two committee system. Do you have a comment on that?
I did.
You were starting to comment on it.
I did. I started commenting on that. It's very valuable to the Planning Commission. They do a lot of research and background, and they take a lot of the heavy lifting out of the project, so that when it comes before us, we can just look at the project itself.
Okay. I don't have any other questions. Anybody have any questions? I think thank you for your work on the commission, and we don't have any other questions for you at this time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So will we bring?
So if you vote first on Karen, the four of you.
I would like to make a motion that we approve Karen Prescott Loeffler to the Planning Commission, and that when Trick comes in, we can vote on the other three as a group.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second.
There's a first and a second.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. That's unanimous. So let's call Mr. Loeffler back. Do we need?
I'll go get him.
Oh, I'm close
Okay.
there.
Okay.
So now, City Clerk, we're going to vote on three
Additional offices, correct.
We have three more slots, 3 people up. Is there a motion on how to proceed, or a motion for?
I think we just mark our ballots.
Yes.
Mark our 3 there.
Yeah, hand them.
Vote on the 3.
First, I will read the votes by the council members, the individual votes, and then I'll call out the top winners. So Mayor Pro Tem Enmeyer voted Cameron Cosgrove, Gary McCocken, and Scott McCann. Councilmember Leffler voted Cameron Cosgrove, Gary McCocken, and Scott McCann. Councilmember Noblock, Cameron Cosgrove, Brett Freeman, Scott McCann. Councilmember Duncan, Cameron Cosgrove, Brett Freeman, Paul Parsons, and Mayor Cabral, Cameron Cosgrove, Gary McCocken, Scott McCann. So Cameron Cosgrove has 5 votes, Gary McCocken has 3 votes, and Scott McCann has 4 votes. So those are the top vote getters. They will be appointed along with Karen Prescott Leffler with 4 votes.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, just real quick for Brett and Paul, great candidates. We need to get you helping us out in the city. I don't know if you noticed one of the earlier votes we took, but Coastal Advisory Committee had 2 people that applied last year and didn't get on. This year they're seated committee members. So I hope you stay engaged. And like I say, I think we're going to see some movement. I don't want you to lose engagement with the city. You're both great candidates, and we'd like to see you up there. So thank you so much for applying.
Thank you. So we'll move on to the next committee.
Do we vote to formally vote to adopt those folks?
Well, let's. I guess we didn't.
We need to, because those were.
Yeah, we voted.
That voted.
I think I still think we do need to do a motion.
Make a motion.
All right,
That's what we always do.
Let's move the 3 then. Cameron Cosgrove, Gary McCacken, and Scott McCann. All in favor?
Aye.
It's unanimous. All right.
That was the motion by Cabral. Did I hear a second? Or
I'll second.
And then moving on to Investment Advisory Committee.
Okay. We have 2 candidates for investment advisory. We have 2 candidates for.
Matthew Colliker. Is Matthew here?
Yeah.
Is
Would you like to?
Matthew here?
Yes.
Okay. Come on up. You have 1 minute to make your presentation.
57 seconds.
Where do you want me?
At the podium here.
He's walking like he's going to the gallows.
All right. Thank you for being here.
So my name is Matthew Colliker. I'm a resident of San Clemente. I moved here in 2017. Family, I got 5 daughters. Professionally, I am in finance. I spent 10 years at PIMCO, advising institutional clients across their fixed income allocation, both traditional credit and private credit as well. I left PIMCO in 2020 and joined M360 Advisors, which is a private credit investment management company based in Ladera Ranch. I served as president of that company and have served in that capacity since 2021. I feel like I love to serve, and I love San Clemente, and I would love to have the opportunity to use the skills that I've acquired professionally on the committee, specifically with the investment portfolio.
All right. I know I'm one of the members of that committee also.
Yeah.
So can you tell me about? I know you. I think you've met with the treasurer, the
Charlie, yes.
Charlie in the past, and talked to him about some of the issues in this city. Can you tell me what your vision of those issues are?
Well, so I know that the portfolio is about 160 million in size.
Mm-hmm.
They use Chandler Asset Management in terms of the outsourcing a lot of the investment decisions through Chandler. But I think that there's an initiative to increase those decisions internally. Obviously, protecting capital and preserving capital is paramount, but also making wise investment decisions based on macro environments and the economy to grow that pool of capital is priority number 1.
Thank you. Any any other questions yet?
Yeah, I have a question, Matthew. A few years ago, it was recommended by the chairman of our investment committee, not the current chairman or the current members of our investment committee now. It was recommended that the city consider ESG standards for all city investments. What are your thoughts on using that sort of criteria as a basis of the investments of our funds?
I think ESG obviously has grown in popularity over the last 10 years, I would say, across a lot of different allocators and pools of capital, investment management companies. I don't think it should be the sole investment option, right? But I do think that there's value in sourcing investments from responsible companies that are both, eco-friendly, thinking about, clean sources of energy. I think that there's a lot of interesting ideas from an investment standpoint that goes the way of ESG, and there's some value there. But that's a part of the overall asset allocation, and I don't think it's prudent to limit your investment opportunity set just to ESG.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. Next, Ken, thank you. Monique, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Runge, I don't believe she's here. Monique, are you here?
No? Okay. Well, we do have her, she's still considered. We do have her resume and her background and her statement, and we will consider that, both candidates. So let's go on our
Councilmember Duncan voted for Matthew Colliker. Councilmember Leffler voted for Monique Runge. Mayor Cabral voted for Matthew Colliker. Mark Inmeyer voted for Matthew Colliker. Councilmember Noblock, Matt Colliker. And that is 4 votes for Matthew and 1 vote for Monique. Do we have a motion?
All right.
I move we appoint Matthew Colliker to the Investment Advisory Committee.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. It's unanimous. Thank you, Matthew, for being here, and we will see you at the next meeting, I guess.
Thank you.
Beaches, Parks, and Recreation Commission.
Yes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 applicants.
Yes.
For a term of 4. Okay, so
for 4
let's.
seats. The first applicant, Jennifer Elliott, is participating via Zoom.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Council.
Good afternoon.
I am trying to turn on my camera, but it's been disabled at this time.
All right, well, we can hear you if that's good enough.
Okay. Perfect.
We'll listen
Okay.
to you. You have 1 minute.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Cabral. My name is Jennifer Elliott. I have been honored to serve on the Beaches Park and Rec Commission for the last 2 years, and I look forward to my reappointment so I can continue to serve our great town. I love living and working in San Clemente. I am a business owner. I own a law office downtown, and I think I have the best job. Serving on Beaches Park and Rec Commission, we get to deal with all of the fun recreational activities that our town has going on. The highlights of our town are 2 miles of beaches, our 23 parks. Those are the types of projects that we get to work with in BPR. And I also want to point out that one of my colleagues, Terry Rousseau, is a candidate this evening, and I want to point out what an incredible member of our BPR commission she is and how much she does to get our new candidates up to speed so our brand new commissioners can just hit the ground running on our work plan
All right.
and our 5 parks project.
We're at the 1 minute mark. It goes really fast. But
Okay.
we have a couple of, we may have a couple of questions. Any of my,
Yes, general question here. In terms of beaches, parks, and rec, I want to take out the idea of sand replenishment here and sand nourishment. We all know that is a very important thing. But I want to look at the parks as a whole and recreation as a whole. What do you think needs to change in terms of our beaches, parks, and rec? What can we do better? What can we improve on in San Clemente? And then also, what are we doing really well?
Yes, thank you for that question, Councilman Meyer. I think that I've heard from the public that they're interested in hearing about the possibility of Dog Beach in one area. I also hear from our skateboarding community that they really want to see some more features in our local parks for skateboarders. I think we have handled several pickleball issues, so everyone seems to be happy in that department. So I just really enjoy listening to our community members and presenting their opinions for all of you council members for your consideration.
Thank you.
thank you. Given the, I mean, you've been on the committee for a while, what do you see the #1 priority for the commission this upcoming year if you're reappointed?
Well, of course, the #1 concern for all is sand replenishment, but it sounds like the council has that well handled. Really excited to see the 250 yards of sand in our beaches and excited for Linda Lane to be done soon. That's what we hear primarily from the public. I would say we really need to focus, go back to our 5 parks master plan and work on speed a little further. We what an honor to have a ribbon cutting at San G several months ago and plan that park and then to see it come to fruition and see the kids run out on the playground. That was a wonderful event, and I look forward to seeing that at our upcoming 4 other parks. But I'd say I work well with our director Samantha Wiley, and I think that our BPR commission works really well together. Our commission does a terrific job.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions, so thank you very much, and we're going to move on to our next candidate. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Shauna Garcia. Welcome.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
You have 1 minute.
Okay, got my timer. Ready, set, go.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members. My name is Shauna Garcia. I am a 3rd-generation San Clemente resident, married to another 3rd-gen San Clemente resident, raising my kids here. So when it comes to the Beach Parks and Rec Commission, I am not exaggerating when I say that whether it's the beaches, the parks, or our recreation programs, they are part of my weekly, bi-weekly, daily routine with my children. Professionally, I'm the executive director of the Laguna Hills Chamber of Commerce, and I work really closely with the city staff. And I understand the importance of community involvement. I have a car show coming up on Saturday, and I am so reliant upon community members to help out with that, to volunteer. And so when it comes to me wanting to be involved in my city, I see that this is not only my responsibility for my children, but also as a resident here for the 34 years I've been here. 2 seconds left.
All right. Tell me more about the activities, the Parks and Recreation activities you're
Like what my kids do?
Yeah.
Well, we live very close to Rancho San Clemente Park, so we are down there all the time, often. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, so I am, things that I care about at parks are their bathrooms there, are their, like back in Talaga Park, there's some potholes and whatnot that need to be addressed. My son's, trip, kids fall, but whatnot. So I'm at the parks, I would say every other day. Same with the beaches as well. I would love to see a couple more swings down there if we can. You know, we've just got the ones at north and south of the pier. And then as far as recreation classes go, so my son is almost 18 months old. He can't quite do all of the classes yet. So I'd love to see something for a little bit like earlier kids, and then too having like that age gap, thinking about for parents who want to get their kids involved in these classes, what can we do at the same time as maybe another kid? You know, you've got your younger kid in something. Can we provide something for an older child at the same time?
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
It does,
Okay.
and you wrote a pretty extensive bio and background about.
I'm living it. I'm living
Yeah.
the beach parks and recs. So
Thank you. Elliot, yes, Chris.
One question, what's one feature that maybe is missing or that you'd like to see more of at any one of our parks?
I would like to see. This sounds silly, but a bathroom that can fit a stroller in it, right? So if you have a kid who's asleep in the stroller, and my 1-year-old's asleep, my 3-year-old needs to use the restroom, I don't want to necessarily have to like take my 1-year-old, wake him up, get him out of the bathroom to go take my 3-year-old to the bathroom. Little things like that. A bathroom at Linda Lane Park too would be nice as well.
And currently the doors are not large enough to get a standard stroller through.
A standard stroller, yes, but a double stroller,
Right,
no.
like a double bob.
Yep. That is what I roll with. So, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
David.
Sherry Grace.
Good afternoon, Mayor Cabral and council members. Sherry Graves, 40-year resident of San Clemente. Currently on Beach Parks and Recreation, outgoing. I was appointed 6 months ago, so I'm basically getting my feet wet, learning a lot about the committee, and having a great time. Very important to me, of course, you know, the beach is a high priority. I'm working on a subcommittee for Beautify San Clemente. Working with Thor and Amelia on that. We're hoping to find some areas in the city that need to be replanted with trees or bushes. And also, I belong to a committee, an organization called National League of Young Men. And there's a lot of volunteer opportunities that we have in the city that I'd like to get them involved with. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it's like NCL, National Charity League for Daughters. So we're hoping to get them involved in the Beautify subcommittee and do some volunteer work. But I would love to stay on the committee. I would love to have your support and be appointed for another term.
All right. What's your priority if you get reappointed? Your priority should you get reappointed?
My priorities on the...
Your priority, yeah, for this year. Yeah.
For this year, well, first of all, I just love listening to the community. I love hearing their input, and they bring in things that I haven't thought of before. Like recently, just the Aquatic Center and how much we use that for water polo with the school, and also the SCAT, the aquatics program. I've learned a lot about that. I've learned a lot about the soccer fields and how important that's been to many of the organizations that we partner with here in San Clemente. So, but my priority is obviously the beach. Love the beach, and I've been watching what's happening down there. And one of the things we were working on was the playground equipment for North Beach. So I was very interested in being a part of that and choosing the right thing for that area. I was a little concerned about the sand there, but I think maybe it can work.
Thank you. Any questions? Follow-up questions?
I think you answered mine.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Linda Hernandez Williams. Hello, Linda. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. Happy to be here. I was also, like Shauna and Paul, recently completed the San Clemente Leadership Forum. I consider myself a professional volunteer, and I want to serve this beautiful community that my husband and I moved into 7 years ago. Appoint Shauna, please. That's a great thing. I think my emphasis would be on communication. I think it's important to let our people know what's going on in the city and how we can help serve them and how they can, so they know what's going on and why we're doing the things we're doing. For instance, I volunteer with police services, and we were just down at the Pack House on Saturday, and people were asking about the little wall, the little wall that got taken out because of the sand replenishment. I had no idea if they were going to put it back or not. I found out today that yes, they're putting it back, and they're going to take it back out in November. People are going to go, what the heck? Well, the reason they do that is because it's a safety wall to keep people from zooming down the pathway and running people over. So, communication.
All right, thank you. Questions?
Yeah, sure. So you mentioned an aspect of change would be communication, more communication with BPNR. What are some of the things that they're doing well? Like in what ways are beaches, parks, and recs good that you'd like to maintain? No.
Well, having volunteering with police services, I go to a lot of their logistics meetings, and so the recreational activities that we have for the whole community, the Ocean Fest, the 4th of July, the Fiesta, the car show, all of those things not only serve our community, but bring tourism dollars into our community.
Any other questions? Thank you for your service right now on your other organizations. Douglas, juvenile?
Yeah.
Okay. You have 1 minute.
Thank you. Mayor, Council, thanks for your time and consideration. My name is Douglas Juvenile. I've been a resident here 35 years. I've been a homeowner 25 of those. I've raised 2 boys here, both through the school system. And my older boy just graduated last year from San Clemente High School. My younger boy is a sophomore this year, plays for Triton football. I came up in youth sports, obviously, a lot of the parks, a lot of the programs. I have close to 2 decades with Santa Margarita Water District, Public Works. We specialized in water distribution, reclaimed water distribution, and of course, collection of sewer. I was a part of the Talega infrastructure as it pertains to the installation of water mains, reclaimed water mains, building of the sewer lift plants, etc., and the maintenance that thereafter follows. I was inspector on 2 special projects that involved huge projects in Orange County for runoff. One was in Cote de Caza, and one was a reclaimed filtration plant for Lake Mission Viejo, saving a lot of runoff from going into the ocean, which is a huge issue here, or hopefully not to be. I have a lot of experience with city budgets, planning.
Your minute is up.
Okay.
But I was perusing what I had seen earlier in your resume. Tell me more, a little bit more just about your exposure to the parks and program here in San Clemente and what you saw through your children and that experience.
For one, I think we're doing a great job. I think that speaks to everyone who loves the parks and the oceans and the community here. It's been a great experience bringing them up and the job they've done. I think it's like that old graph where the 2 circles cross, right? Like you have progress, responsible progress, and you have the character of our city that we want to maintain. Where they cross, I think that center area is where we can work as a team on the commission and be beneficial going forward in both areas.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, just what aspect do you think, in terms of our beach, parks, and rec, do you think needs to change? Where do you think you mentioned that we're doing a great job, but I'd like you to be a little bit more specific. Where are we doing a great job?
I think you look at the maintenance, especially at some of the older parks, we've done a great job. Obviously, I think societies, cities, communities evolve. That's something we can't fight, but we're continually evolving. So I think with some of the new stuff, that's an area that's going to be a challenge, but something we can, with a good commission, being a part of a team, we can do.
All right. Chris?
How do you think your experience with the Santa Margarita Water District and doing those kind of projects, you mentioned budgeting right at the end of your 1 minute, how do you think that would play into your service if you were selected on it? I think a lot of it is working with public agencies, but also, like, for example, the Gubernador Basin project in Coto de Caza or Lake Mission Viejo, those were strictly runoff projects. And I think a concern when you're a coastal community is the concern of runoff and erosion, again, back to the sand issue. So I think having that expertise in the field and working with all the involved people has been a great experience, a great skill set for me to bring to beaches, parks, and recs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Seeing no further questions, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Richard K.
Teddy Kahn.
Oh, wait, did I skip Teddy? Sorry about that.
Good afternoon, Mayor and City Council. My name is Teddy Kahn. I first fell in love with San Clemente in 2015 while visiting on a surf trip with my college. And since then, I've totally embraced myself in the great outdoors in San Clemente. On any day, you can catch me surfing, walking the trails with my dog, attending North Beach, community association events, or taking dance lessons at the community center with my fiance. I'm a young homeowner in North Beach, a local small business owner in the surf industry, and a regional coordinator for Surfriders South OC Blue Water Task Force. My goals for the commission are centered on ensuring that our beaches and park facilities are clean, safe, well-maintained, and accessible for all San Clemente residents and visitors. I'm eager to support the council's vision and maintain the highest standards for our residents. You all have done a great job enhancing our city's amenities. One way BPR can assist is by educating the public through community events. As a young resident deeply passionate about our city's future, I will bring a fresh perspective and an energetic approach to the commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions?
Yeah, I see on your application, or you talk about possible sprucing up, basically, of some of our beach park amenities. Can you just expand on that a little bit?
I know the budget for the city is tight, and budget is available to continue services. Looking at areas to supplant fundraising efforts, I think would be really important for repainting something like a T Street Bridge. And I also think engaging the youth in civic matters and our younger residents to see if we can get them to engage with beautification projects would be a really great way to improve civic engagement in our community.
And so with your age dynamic and demographic, you think you might be able to bring some younger people into city service or engaging with the city more in those activities?
I think so, and it's really inspiring to see all the young people we have at Surfrider volunteering, and they're all really eager to get involved in bettering the community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? No? All right, thank you very much. Richard K. now.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, City Council. I'm Richard K. Been here 20 years. Currently, I raise 3 children. I have a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old, and an 11-year-old. I have a degree in econometrics, so I can turn on a dime, pick it up too. I run a company, GCI. We're currently doing the Sand Hall. Have a lot of information on the beaches. I surf regularly. My 3 kids, they play Little League. They also play soccer. So I'm a daily visitor to Sanji, Bahia, all the parks. And I'd like to help out the City Council in this job.
Thank you. Tell me a little bit more about those parks, recreation activities you're involved in here.
Sanji is one of my favorite ones. Okay. I noticed a lot of stuff with the pickleball guys, and they've just moved that around. Tennis guys they're different people. I'm more interested, obviously, in the field. It'd be nice if we cut the grass, got it down a little bit thinner, used different species of grass. Some of the Melaleucas around that could be trimmed. I've sat on the Talega board since the inception, so I'm pretty familiar with the business side of the Talega side, and different plants could be utilized maybe against the freeway to combat some of the noise that comes through there. That's just one of the ideas. I don't know.
All right. I don't have any questions.
Question, Richard, you mentioned sand hauling. Your company currently does sand hauling for the city of Newport Beach?
That's correct, yeah. We are currently on an on-call agreement with Newport Beach. We have 325 excavators that are hauling right now. So we'll haul from the Santa Ana River, and then we'll usually dispose of it right around the peninsula area, what have you. So we've been with them I've been owner of the company for the last 5 years, but the previous owner has been doing that for about 40 years or so. So there's a lot of expertise there.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I do have a question. Did we have a conversation, not related to this, but about beaches in the past?
Yeah.
By phone or?
I think we might have talked before. I think I currently live, well, I'm remodeling my house in Cottons Point, and it's across from the Marriott's.
Okay.
So we've talked to.
I do remember that conversation.
Yeah.
Just trying to tie all the pieces together.
Yeah.
All right. That's no other questions. Well, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Alyssa.
McCann, yes. McCann.
Okay.
Yes. Hello, Mayor and Council members. My name is Alyssa McCann. I've been a resident in San Clemente since 2014. I have 2 small children, and my daughter is going into 2nd grade at Truman. My son is 3. We are avid, active family members. We participate in a lot of the community events as well as the concerts and things like that. I'm absolutely in love with the community feel of San Clemente. My family by marriage has been living here since the 40s, and I feel so connected. Professionally, I am the Director of Data and Assessment for Irvine Unified School District. I have been in the school district for 17 years. For 10 years, I've been an administrator in the department. And as part of my job, it is my job to study complex matters, to collect the data surrounding questions, to analyze it, and to make informed decisions, prioritizing safety and vision. And then I would love to bring that to the community that I love.
Thank you. Any questions? Well, I'll
Same question I've asked others. What do you see as what San Clemente is doing well with Beach Parks and Rec? What do you think we should be focused on for the future in terms of changes?
I am passionate about a city that knows how to play. We are so in love with the constant activities. I know with our schedule, we're very busy. And so when we have events that we can attend, the concerts at the beach, that type of thing, my family really enjoys. That community feel. We get to see people from school, we get to see people from soccer, we see people from gymnastics. So I love that we have so many activities, and then also the regular activities. We've done the recreation through the aquatic center and just absolutely loved it. We've signed up for elite soccer and really excited for that as well. And the parks I think are world class. I come from the valley. It's not as nice. I will never leave here. So I'm very pleased to be a member of this community.
And anything that you would want to improve upon or change?
There are many things I'm curious about. As a data person, I have more questions than I have opinions at this point. I'm curious about the activities for our teens. There are a lot of teenagers in my neighborhood, and their activity is to ride an e-bike to Target. And I wonder what we could do to activate that very passionate group of individuals in a way that connects with them.
Thank you. Go ahead.
You've been to Target, yeah.
Yeah, I think you can probably watch my daughter.
I love it. They're adorable.
But yeah, that seems like there might be more there for them, in addition to their phones and riding to Target. But the question is about your data analytics skill set. How do you think that would assist you in the advisory role at Beaches Park and Rec Commission for us?
I think that when you're looking at data, it is important to contextualize it. I was recently at a meeting where there was a discussion about a percentage, and a percentage is only in relation to the whole, but nobody was discussing the difference in the whole. I think those are important considerations when we're making determinations, and determinations whether or not to reevaluate policy, and the implications that certain policies have on certain groups where we have had years and decades of partnership. We want to make sure that those policies are supported.
I mean that they actually work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Final, Terry.
Hello.
Hi, you guys. So
Good afternoon, City Council. First of all, I want to say I'm Terry Rousseau, and I wanted to say thank you also for last year selecting me for a third year on Beaches, Parks, and Rec Commission. I love our beaches. I love our outdoor spaces. From the time I've been tiny, my mom used to take us on camping trips, and she taught me two things. One, love the great outdoors, respecting the resources that we have in those outdoors, and being a good steward of those outdoors. And the second thing she instilled with me that I've taken into this role is I want to come to every place that I go, whether I live there or I visit there, and make it a better place when I go. Some of the projects that we've worked on over the last year is to really start increasing communication surrounding community 501c3s, local, charitable contributors, to try to augment the city budget when it comes to updating, doing some special projects around our parks that have been put on the
Your
back.
time is up, and I have a question for you. Tell me more about how you're going to work on augmenting and working with.
So what we've done over the last year, about 2 years ago, I put into place and got approved a subcommittee called Funding and Foundations. That was to basically increase the communication going to local 501c3s, specifically Friends of San Clemente Beaches, Parks, and Rec Foundation, and Pure Pride. And a handful of others. So reaching out to and increasing the communication to say, hey, we're looking at doing this special project. Can you guys help out? Can you be, involved? I've been selected as the liaison for Friends of Beaches, Parks, and Rec Foundation and become a board member of that group. And what I've done with them is to, one, be able to put together a Facebook page so that people in the community, I share these things to, these posts to San Clemente Live, the Dana Point, lifestyle pages, local lifestyle pages on Facebook, so that people know when there's charitable events going on that they can be involved. When there's a need, we can use that forum. And I think moving forward, we could be better at using social media to get the word out, what the city does in the way of events and what needs they have and what they've been doing, kind of from a smaller, park to park standpoint.
Let me ask another question. Not everybody gets appointed. Is there a way for people to become involved? And if you don't get appointed, is there a way for people to continue to be involved in this Beaches, Parks as a non-commissioner?
You know what, I think that's a great idea. I know that we have, in the Planning Commission, we have some additional kind of aspects where people can come in and help them. We could look at putting together something like that where people who are, especially interested in one particular aspect like pickleball or, senior, activities in parks or items in parks, those kind of things, and bring somebody on just, but really, if you want to be involved, you can just come to the Beaches, Parks, and Rec meetings and, put in your thoughts. But I think it's a good idea. We could, put something more formal in place.
Any questions? No? Thank you. All right. We've completed. I will say this is going to be a hard vote since, unless I get one of your, some of your votes, we have 9 extraordinarily qualified people that all deserve to be on this commission, and unfortunately we only have 4 votes, and I think you probably all feel the same way as me, that it's hard to make the decision, but
well, this is one of the areas where there is an opportunity. It's already in place to have ad hoc people on commissions and committees, where you can go to a meeting, and then after the meeting you can talk to the chair or the people who are on the subcommittees, and you can help with those subcommittees. So specific subcommittees, you can work on that subcommittee with them, go to the meetings. The only thing you can't do is vote. But you can work within this Beaches and Parks Commission just like a regular member. And I would really, really recommend that if you still have the feeling that you want to participate and you don't get appointed, that you do that. You go to the next meeting and really take part. That's how people get on these committees and commissions. It's they participate. So, and Mayor was 100% right. You could put all these names in a hat and draw them out, and we could come out with 4 great people. So, thank you for all participating.
Thank you. All right, let's.
One more thing, and that there always is on this some crossover with Coastal Advisory Commission, so something for some of the people to think about where their interest, if they don't get selected, if their interest was very focused on that beach area, the coastal ocean area, that keep the Coastal Advisory Commission, in mind as well in the future, because there is a little bit of overlap, but for folks who are really focused mostly on that other than parks, that's another option.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to take a vote. You already voted?
Yeah.
Oh, you're fast.
We could have done this at not at but we didn't all.
Okay, I'll go ahead and read the votes.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem Enmeyer, 1 vote for Shauna Garcia, 1 vote for Linda Hernandez Williams, 1 vote for Richard Kay, and 1 vote for Alyssa McCann. Councilmember Noblock, 1 vote for Shauna Garcia, 1 vote for Sherry Grace, 1 vote for Teddy Kahn, 1 vote for Richard Kay. Mayor Cabral, 1 vote for Jennifer Elliott, 1 vote for Sherry Grace, 1 vote for Richard Kay, 1 vote for Terry Rousseau. Councilmember Leffler, 1 vote for Jennifer Elliott, 1 vote for Sherry Grace, 1 vote for Teddy Kahn, 1 vote for Teddy Rousseau, and let's see, Councilmember Duncan, 1 vote for Shauna Garcia, 1 vote for Linda Hernandez Williams, 1 vote for Richard Kay, 1 vote for Alyssa McCann. And if I can just have your votes, Megan, I'm just going to compare real quick.
Okay, so I have 2 for Jennifer Elliott.
Yep.
I have 3 for Shauna Garcia.
Yep.
I have 3 for Sherry Grace.
Yep.
I have 2 for Linda Hernandez Williams.
Yes.
I have none for Douglas.
Right.
I have 2 for Teddy.
Correct.
I have 4 for Richard.
Okay.
And I have 2 for Alyssa and 2 for Terry.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Jennifer Elliott has 2 votes. Shauna Garcia has 3 votes. Sherry Grace has 3 votes. Linda Hernandez Williams has 2 votes. Teddy Kahn has 2 votes. Richard Kay has 4 votes. Alyssa McCann has 2 votes. And Terry Rousseau has 2 votes. So Richard Kay is the highest vote getter. And Jennifer Elliott, Shauna Garcia, and Sherry Grace. Excuse me, Shauna Garcia and Sherry Grace each have 3 votes, and it looks like we need to do 1 more round of voting for that 4th.
Okay, so we're able to move the 3.
Correct. Shauna Garcia, Sherry Grace, and Richard Kay.
I'll move those 3 to be appointed to the Beaches, Parks, and Recreation Commission.
Is there a second? Let me make it clear. It's Shauna Garcia who received 3 votes, Sherry Grace who received 3 votes, and Richard Kay who received 4 votes would be moved.
Correct.
Correct.
That's my motion.
All right. Is there a second? Second. There's a second. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So we have 1 more vote, and I'm trying to think how we. I guess it would be it'd still be any.
Just vote for one.
Just vote for one,
Yeah.
Well, do you want to?
The question is whether we want to vote for those that got two votes.
One's a vote for, got 2 votes.
Well, that's almost.
Yeah.
I think we just
Yeah, I
vote
think,
for
yeah.
one.
We'll just vote for one each then. All right, okay, that's our agreement then. All right.
Councilmember Duncan voted for Alyssa McCann. Mayor Pro Tem Enmeyer voted for Alyssa McCann. Councilmember Noblock voted for Teddy Kahn. Councilmember Leffler voted for Terry Rousseau. And Mayor Cabral voted for Jennifer Elliott. So Alyssa McCann has 2 votes.
All right.
Would you like to make a motion to appoint Alyssa McCann?
I'll make a motion to appoint Alyssa McCann.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor? Hold on. You have a.
We have a substitute motion. You know, Alyssa didn't receive a majority of our votes, and I'm just, I guess I wondering if another vote would be needed or necessary to.
Yeah.
Just thinking out loud, it's.
She the only one got 2 votes.
Read the vote back again. How many got 1 vote? How many got 2 votes?
Jennifer Elliott received 1 vote. Teddy Kahn received 1 vote. Alyssa McCann received 2 votes, and Terry Rousseau received 1 vote.
Okay.
I don't know, unless with those numbers, unless anyone wants to change their vote,
You know, my view is that they were all extraordinarily qualified. We'll all do well. I mean, you can see they're all great. We all great. I mean, it's subjective. But
Okay, well, I won't make a substitute motion, and I just was so impressed with Terry Kahn's energy and youth in this area. I think it'd be a vital addition, but obviously Alyssa has more votes than the others, so unless anyone wants to switch their vote to consideration.
I think that's the purpose that we have the blind vote.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. There's a motion, unless you're going to make a substitute. There's a motion and a second. All in favor of Alyssa?
Aye.
All right. It's Alyssa. Thank you.
Carries 5-0, and the final committee is Golf Course Committee.
All right. See if we can. Thank you all for participating. First, okay, Mandy Hamilton. Is Mandy here? Oh, thank you.
Good afternoon.
You have 1 minute.
I apologize for being late. I was playing in our club championship this morning, but I didn't win, so I came nowhere near one.
That's the best excuse I've ever heard.
My name is Mandy Hamilton. I've been really honoured to serve on the committee for the last 3 years. My focus has been on Wedgwood, trying to improve the vendor there. It's a hard battle, but there has been improvement. I've worked well as a group where we're focused on helping the superintendent, supporting what they need for the course. The course is in beautiful condition. Supporting the pro shop, they're doing a great job, and there's lots of young kids were out there this morning. It was fabulous to see. And then looking at the competition in the city and outside the city of other golf courses. Are we priced correctly? Are we bringing in enough money that justifies what we do? And going forward, what I'd like to do is continue to try and improve the vendor that we have, which is the one that serves the golfers. It's at Wedgwood is serving. They do functions very well. They do not serve the golfers well or the city well, in my opinion. And over the period I've been there, I've had many meetings.
Your minute is
Sorry.
up, but I am probably going to ask you all the same questions because, Wedgwood won the contract. Wedgwood is a wedding company, not a golf course service. Tell me more about those issues as you see them.
Well, they do a good job with the functions because that's really where their money is. They don't make a lot of money in the golf side. It's a chicken and egg. The golfers don't come in because the staff aren't there to serve them, or the food isn't there, or it's not good. And so, to try and get Wedgwood to live up to the contract, which is you have to serve the golfers, you have to serve the community, not just the functions. And so they have improved over the years. They have got a little bit better. They're not anywhere near where they should be, but they have updated their food. They do have a menu, a breakfast menu now. They have a lunch menu. They have outside at the snack bar. However, they're not a welcoming company to the golfer. The golfers walk into the pub and is there anybody here? And if you go into the kitchen, you'll find somebody. Well, that's not helpful. It should be a place where people in the community can come and have lunch. Never mind play golf. It's a beautiful facility.
Yeah.
So I would like to. I'm a little passionate about it.
You're preaching to the choir there. I mean, I've gone in before and had to search for somebody and to find out that they don't have a cook that day.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I wanted to ask another question about price. I mean, there's a lot of kind of city municipal golf courses that have a rate structure for residents, because residents are actually the people that support that golf course and non-residents. Have you thought about that, or have you looked into that?
Well, we look into every year. We look at what other clubs are both within the city and out with the city, like San Juan and many other clubs. What are the rates? The resident rates are way better than non-resident rates, but even the non-resident rates are incredibly good. I mean, it's a great value to play on this course. People come from, if they can get a tee time, which is difficult, they really enjoy playing the course, and it's very good value for money. So every year we look at it, and the golf committee, we look at the rates, and we work with Samantha in the city to see, should we be increasing it? Are we properly pricing what the courses should be compared to other courses in the area?
So I had a question about tee time, because I've been getting a lot of complaints recently about reservations being booked up in blocks.
Well, they're not so much booked up in blocks as you have to be very quick on the booking. So I play with the ladies on a Tuesday morning. There is a block, so that's the ladies' club, women's club. But I play with my husband on a Thursday, so I have to go online at 8 days ahead at 6 o'clock in the morning to get that tee time. For the tee time I want on the following Thursday. So I can call in the Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock. Don't call it in, go online. And it's very difficult. It's not easy, but you can do it. I get my tee time every Thursday, but that's how I get it. I get up very early and I get online to get the tee time.
Do we require payment at the time of reservation?
It does show. You have to have a credit card. You have to be registered. So if you don't show up for the course, they will, or they can charge your credit card if you don't cancel.
Okay.
But you pay when you go in, but they have your information when you first book it.
Do you think that system works, or should we be
Well, I think
required to pay at the time you reserve?
Well, I don't think any course, most courses don't require you to pay at the time of reservation. However, they do take your credit card, and that's what we do. So if you don't show up, they can bill it. They can bill it.
Didn't the city just initiate a few days ago a new part of the system on that online booking? I think they did. They showed it to me, and apparently it makes automatic waiting lists on there.
I have not seen that.
Yeah,
They must have introduced it since last Wednesday.
They did. I think it was like last Thursday or Friday.
Oh, right.
So I think there's an automatic wait list now, which
Great.
might help out.
Yeah, that is a great advancement. Yeah.
All right, any other questions? What's your handicap?
It's very bad. It's
Okay,
26.
all right.
Doesn't mean I'm not passionate though.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Next.
We're figuring this my handicap?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. That's going to make it helpful.
Best woman's handicap wins. Next speaker. Kurt. Okay.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kurt Lukey. I've been a resident in San Clemente for 22 years and played the golf course all 22 of those years. I have been on the board of directors of the men's club for the last 8 years. A little bit of background, I was president of the men's club for 3 years, 2020 till 2022, I guess it would be, which was during COVID. We had a number of challenges with all golfers and the men's club, and I worked with the city and Parks and Recreation to reestablish tee times, get tournaments going, wrote up the new men's club operating standards and regulations of play with the city. So I've worked with the city through the men's club in the past, and I think that could be an asset for me to be a part of the committee in the future.
Thank you. Your time is up. Already have a few questions. Tell me what you think about the pricing structure there.
Well, I think the pricing structure is fair and equitable. I think a lot of residents would probably think non-residents could maybe pay a little bit more than the current residents do. But other than that, I think the pricing structure is very fair as it is.
All right. What about the food service?
Well, okay, Wedgwood, I've worked a lot with Wedgwood, and I understand that they're a catering wedding service, and I know that their hands are tied. They're committed to do what they need to do. It's unfortunate because just recently we had a tournament on a Wednesday, and before COVID, we used to use an automatic scoreboard on the TVs. And as scores were entered, we could post scores, and so everybody that would come in would come into Wedgwood, come into the pro shop or the clubhouse, and stay and have some beverages and some food, and it really built camaraderie and everything. And that's something we can do on Wednesdays. Unfortunately, we can't do it on Fridays and Saturdays because they've got commitments to weddings or whatever it is all the time. If somehow, some way, we could get back to where that building could fit golfers, and I know the contract's out for Wedgwood, that would be the win-win that I think we're all looking for. And I also know there's a third-party consulting firm that's working with Parks and Recreation in the city right now, the every 10 or 15 year analyzation of everything that's going on, and hopefully that can be included in the long-term goals of what we're doing over there.
Tea time. Any issues with tea time?
No, it's frustrating for everybody. But what Mandy just said. I know if you get there and you've got to really be right on the ball at 6 o'clock. That's how you've got to do it. But as far as any other solution towards it, I think what we're doing is probably as efficient way as possible, unless we would go back to having cars in the parking lot and walking into the clubhouse back at 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that to sign up, and I don't think anybody wants that, so.
What about blocks that are?
Well,
I got an email on that, that's what I'm asking about.
The thing with blocks is, and I know people that do it, so there are groups of people that get up and say, okay, we're all gonna shoot for tee times between 10 and 10:30, or 10, whatever the group of times might be. And there might be 5 or 6 individuals that are all want to play together that get up and try to get those times together. So sometimes it seems as though the same people get the same times a lot, but in fact, that's what people are doing in order for that to happen.
Thank you for your comments. Any other questions? What's your handicap?
My golf swing.
All right, thank you. Next is Ben Page.
Hello, Mayor and City Council. My name is Ben Page. I am a 19-year resident of San Clemente and have had the pleasure of serving on the golf course committee for the past 3 years. I must say I have learned a lot about the golf course operations over those 3 years and how it interacts with the city and the public. I was part of the team that helped select the vendor for the master plan in representing the city. I'm a member of the Greens Subcommittee. I'm the one who prepares the detailed course report each quarter. I work with Jordan and the staff there, along with Rick Dybel, to go through and review the course. I play the course on a regular basis. I'm pretty well known at the course, probably more than my wife would like me to be, but I like to think I have a different perspective than some of the other members of the committee. I have a younger family. I'm very interested in making sure that the course is available to kids, and I also have a relatively low handicap, so I tend to look at the course from a slightly different perspective, from competitive play on that perspective as well. Just look forward to the opportunity to continue with the golf course committee and be involved in its modernization.
Thank you. You've heard some of the questions I've asked. Any comments on any of those?
Well, I think that the next 1.5 to 2 years will be very interesting as we work through this master plan, and we get a lot of information from the vendor around how we can modernize the course, not just from a physical course perspective, but also from an operations perspective, and that will include, how the clubhouse operations are running, the dining and stuff like that. I think we'll need to carefully look and analyze the feedback and the information that's provided, and really see what's within the city's budget. Because when it comes to the course, we'd love to do tons and tons of things, but again, we are constricted to the finances that are associated with it, for sure.
I'm told everything breaks towards the ocean. It can't be true because the ocean surrounds.
Well, yes, that's true. It's more breaks towards trestles, I would say, is the secret on that one.
That's a good piece of information. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah, I'm interested about your feeling on the fact that we don't seem to have a 19th hole at the mini course.
Yeah, when I first came to San Clemente and I first started playing with the course 15, 19 years ago, there was a lot more gatherings there. There was obviously the clubhouse was just getting finished not long after that. And then they had the Irons on the Fire, which was a very nice social gathering place. I know we've had a lot of discussions with Samantha around bringing back community activities, having summer nights where you have things for the kids to do. They could be out on the putting green, we could have competitions on the driving range, things like that, while the parents are enjoying taco night or a few drinks and stuff like that. I really think we need to continue to push that and explore that further, because I think if you get the community and families interested, then the next step people will start coming there more on a regular basis.
And what do you think the impediment to that is?
I can't speak for Samantha in getting those organized, but I have a feeling Wedgwood is a little reluctant to be available to host things that are outside of the weddings and more higher paid functions, to be honest.
Okay.
Well, let's just get down to it, because the impediment is that Wedgwood provides an income stream, and if we don't have that income stream, it's hard to make that up with community events. That's just the reality of it, right? So let's not dance around the issue. I guess the issue is, how can we replace that income stream with a different model? Maybe that would be the...
Yeah, and I think you've talked a lot about...
We've got to figure that impossible.
The fees, right? The fees are a big thing, and our course is clearly lower than anything in town. And you'll see online people posting San Clemente's best deal in California, you know, which is great that we want to be known as a good deal, but do we really want to be the best deal in California? Doesn't that mean we have a little bit of room for some growth there, right? We want to be known as a course that people want to come visit and see and play, but we don't want to be known as, it's so cheap. Anybody and everyone, it's worth the 3-hour drive to do that, right?
Well, let me ask you a follow-up on that, because I'm probably tiring out some of my colleagues here with these golf questions. But could we raise the fees for non-residents, reduce the number of golfers, maintain the course with the same or better condition, and still have more opportunities for local golfers to play?
It's a balancing act, right?
Yeah.
Because if you get to the point where you're charging too much money, then you lose the popularity to an extent. But from what I'm seeing around town, getting tee times anywhere is tough, right? Any public golf course, you've got to be on it a week in advance. Having the lower rates makes it that just a little bit more difficult. I think the variance between the residence rates, which the course is really for the residents, right? I mean, it's a city course, it's for the city residents. We need to focus on getting a bigger difference between the rates that the residents pay and the outside public pay. Because we need it would make it that much easier.
And residents are already paying for that.
Yeah,
that golf course.
That variance just needs to be greater, in my opinion.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Where are we at?
Paul Parada?
Paul. Yeah, 1 minute.
1 minute starts now, I see it. Okay, thank you. I'm a novice to all this. I don't have the experience that these other people have, but I thought I would put in an application anyway.
Okay, thank you.
I've been with San Clemente for 23 years. I played the golf course since 1979 when I first moved to California. And I've seen it go through a lot of changes, trees disappearing, but it's by far the best value in Orange County for golf. As I said in my application, I would like to be a part of the evaluations and decisions that will continue to keep our exceptional municipal course exceptional. So that's a very general statement, but two things motivated me to apply. Number one was expansion in golf after COVID and what's happened with that. Secondly was a decision that was made probably 2 years ago to modify the 16th tee. So if I could be part of the decisions that go into that, I would appreciate that.
Tell me about the 16th tee.
Well, the 16th tee, that was when they cut it in half and modified it and planted a scrawny pine tree to keep people from cutting the dog leg and occasionally hitting the houses on the left. And anybody that lives on a golf course and expects not to be hit by a golf ball is living in a dream world.
Yeah, 16th tee. It's very possible to cut that corner. I've cut it.
Yeah. No, I can't.
But I've never hit a house.
You haven't tried hard enough.
What about you did make some comments about the driving range. Do you have concerns about that too?
The driving range?
The mats.
Oh, the mats. Yeah.
Yeah.
The mats wear out occasionally, and sometimes I'm standing on the mats and there's a groove where I'm trying to hit the ball out of.
There's always a groove there.
So I have to slide over, move over. And just the maintenance and stuff. The cart paths could use some improvements. And of course, as you mentioned, Wedgwood. Just a short story. When the clubhouse first opened, or the facility first opened, the city still ran it. And I had my youngest daughter's wedding reception there in 2008. And it's changed quite a bit since then. It seems now that the Wedgwood dominates and runs everything, whereas the golfers are pretty much secondary.
All right. Thank you very much. Anybody? No.
Just to clarify on that, with cutting the hole, the problem is not the responsible golf. The problem is the drunk out-of-towner who thinks a lot bigger than the bag and the stroke allows for. So that was the problem, right? And so I think there was good cause to address that the way we did. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Next.
Tony Smith.
Tony Smith.
Should I wait for
for him to come back?
No.
So you're gonna miss me?
No, he can actually hear you back there. There's a speaker back there.
My name is Tony Smith, resident of Southwest San Clemente since 2010. At 59 years old, I'm married with 2 children. My passion for golf started when I was just 5 years old, and has been a significant part of my life ever since. I've dedicated approximately 35 years to the golf industry and currently work as an independent sales rep for several golf brands. I'm an avid golfer, play the Muni almost every day, typically enjoy 9 holes in the afternoon, which I have a tee time at 4. 2 full rounds on the weekends. Proud member of the men's club, Saturday team play. I also mentor a lot of young children and hope to create the passion in them that I have for golf.
Thank you. You've heard most of my questions, at least. Anything you want to add?
Well, I mean, tee times you can't get tee times. It just, nobody likes getting up at 6 in the morning and booking something. So, as far as
have you thought about, have you ever looked at what other clubs are doing, or is there another way to build this mousetrap, or not really?
Well, I mean, the one comparable, and I wouldn't even compare it outside of, I would say at Torrey Pines. Torrey Pines allows you to book further out and pay more money. So that's one thing that I would say that would be interesting, as we talk about varying rates. You could definitely allow people to book further, and pay more money. That would be a good idea.
Interesting.
Yeah, so what about Bethpage to make you get in the parking lot 5 in the morning?
I mean, if just from the 14 years I've spent at that golf course, everybody would do it because we all want to play it. So I would drive over there and park in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, and the weird thing, my one weird comment on 16, so since the tree's been put in place, it's almost for that drunk golfer, it's almost created a new challenge.
New incentive,
I mean, there's several guys that I play with that can easily hit it straight over that tree. And they do. They line up, and I'm like, where are you even going? I can't hit it that far. So, but, and then Wedgwood, my only comment on them is just from a safety concern. More from the wedding chapel, where everybody gets married, they're all now walk down basically down the cart path on 9. And it's only a matter of time before someone's going to get hit there. So the wedding coordinators used to route them out through the parking lot, and basically the wedding coordinators don't do anything anymore. So the photographers take them out on the 8 green to take pictures. They take them all over the place.
So I was there the other day, and they were having the reception, before the wedding started, they were all over the putting green. A party of 30 people walking around the putting green, which is unacceptable, but we'll have to deal with that when we deal with it. Thank you very much.
Just real quick here, you talked about how the etiquette for golf carts has diminished since COVID, and you list a bunch of issues there. What could you do to improve that?
I think we still have all the cart signs. I still think we have all the ropes. To me, I would think it would be a way of taking our rangers, who, at a lot of people's opinions, don't do much, making them responsible to put the cart signs in place, making them responsible to say, hey, please keep the cart on the path around the green and around the tee. Because a lot of it's just education, I think. I think a lot of the new people just don't know they're doing something wrong.
Tell me a little bit more about the Ranger program. Stricter enforcement, more Rangers?
I don't think we need more Rangers. I think they just you know, I think right now they're out there to be chase e-bikers off the course, which is important because the golf cart creates more damage than the e-biker, but the e-bikers out there did do it on purpose. Whereas the golf cart guys don't know that they're creating a big rut in the fairway right next to the green because they can't walk 2 more feet to park on the back.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Last.
Robert Zumberg.
Thank you for sticking around.
Mayor, council members, thank you for having me. Robert Zumberg, I've been a resident in San Clemente for 36 years. I've played the municipal golf course for more than 40 years. And I would guess I took great interest in this committee after seeing that there's a 10-year plan underway with a consulting firm. And I think what I can bring to the table is the following. For the last 3 years, I've been working with an international consulting firm that is hired by Troon Golf, Arcus Golf, and a number of other golf course management companies to review in very exacting and comprehensive detail everything from driving into a parking lot, outside services, welcoming you at the clubhouse, the golf course itself, the after golf.
Your minute is up.
That is it, then.
All right.
I would like to hear a little bit more about what you were speaking of now.
And that's exactly why I think you may be interested in what I've been doing for the last 3 years. So this company has sent me anywhere from Bermuda to Hawaii to Las Vegas to Los Angeles to Palm Springs, everything from a $500 Las Vegas exclusive high-end high roller resort to Meadowlark in Huntington Beach. And what I do and the other 100 people in the US actually that do these reviews have an application that rates everything. I mean, hundreds of photographs, hundreds and hundreds of questions that, as an example, we rate the experience in the clubhouse. Were you greeted? Were you offered information about the golf course, where to go, that kind of thing? So a lot of it is not about the golf course itself, but everything that surrounds it. So the conversation about Wedgwood and the pro shop and the amenities of the driving range are all looked at in very much detail. So what happens is all this information is compared to other similar golf courses and brought back to the management company. So they provide suggestions and ideas on how to improve their courses.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? No. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Full disclosure, I don't play golf. I only play golf with the windmill that goes around. And listening to all you, I think you are all should be on whatever golf course committee we have. It's hard to remove somebody that's an incumbent without cause to me because they've been doing a good job, but that's another thing. It just makes it so hard.
Did you know in years past they made it that the mayor could have unlimited golf for a lifetime golf?
Well, I think it's council. It's all council members. So you can get that too. Why do you play golf?
No.
So we have two non-golfers here who can play for the rest of their life. Can I just drive around the course like on the golf cart and not play?
I think the golf cart's not included in the.
Oh, the cart is in the. Oh, okay.
This is the golf.
So just walk around the course.
That was removed, though, I think.
Oh, that was my motion? Yeah.
I'd happily have like.
How many people are on the golf committee?
I believe it's 5. Yeah,
We
5.
got to think about extending this one. There's so many good people that should be involved, but Robert, who does all this analytical, I mean, it's just, it's incredible. I mean,
Impressive.
people, so, that might be coming, stand by.
All right. Let's.
Okay.
Sure. You didn't get that.
Oh, thank you.
That's important.
Maybe, maybe not.
Thank you. Okay, starting with Councilmember Leffler. A vote for Mandy Hamilton, a vote for Ben Page, and a vote for Tony Smith. Mayor Pro Tem Enmeyer, vote for Mandy Hamilton, vote for Ben Page, vote for Robert Zumberg. Councilmember Duncan, Mandy Hamilton, Ben Page, Robert Zumberg. Mayor Cabral, Mandy Hamilton, Ben Page, Robert Zumberg, and Councilmember Noblock, Ben Page, Tony Smith, and Robert Zumberg. So that is 4 votes for Mandy Hamilton, 5 votes for Ben Page, and 4 for Robert Zumberg.
I'll move that we appoint Mandy Hamilton, Ben Page, and Robert Zumberg to the Golf Course Committee.
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. Thank you all. Apologies again. I wish we could appoint you all. Maybe we'll look at expanding that committee, but you're all are doing good things for our community, and there is that opportunity too, I think, to work on an ad hoc basis with these committees, and we appreciate everything you're doing.
Is there a chair of the golf committee? Who is that?
Rick Daigle.
Oh, it's Rick? Okay, I'm going to speak to Rick about inclusive, get these people involved. Expanding committee, and then also getting these people involved now in their particular expertise. I think there's a great opportunity for that.
All right.
Would you like to recess to close or we'll take a recess now, and then closed session begins at 5 o'clock.
Okay, yeah.
We got 2 hours.
All right.
Make a motion for that to conclude the interviews.
I'll make a motion that we recess till 5 o'clock. Closed session.
All those in favor, unanimous. Yes.